The discrepancy regarding the results in at least one constituency in the recently held Nevis Island Assembly elections may be a sign of the swing against the incumbent Concerned Citizens Movement, the CCM, says political analyst Peter Wickham. He was addressing the election petitions filed by the Nevis Reformation Party, the NRP, while a guest on the Caribbean Current Affairs show The Narrative.
We have an interesting situation emerging where there's been a court case filed in one of the seats that the NRP lost, where they are alleging that there was an outcome in which you had more seats, more votes counted than were declared as having voted. And the Premier himself acknowledged that you had one number which related to counted votes and spoiled votes, and then you had a number plus, I believe it was 6, that amounts to votes that were supposed to have been cast, which suggests that more people voted than voted. And that is something that we have challenges explaining. They're essentially putting this to the court and saying, look, we don't know how it happened, but we know that something fishy has happened, and they're asking the court to declare that seat null and void and to have a re-election in that seat. Now, in a situation where that happens, I think it could be a game changer, because if Premier Brandy loses that seat, ultimately he loses the government.
While no set date has been set for the hearing of these petitions, Mr. Wickham believes, based on previous trends, it may take some time. He referred to the last major election petition back in the 2011 Nevis elections, which the then opposition Concerned Citizens Movement won.
The NRP won the election, and there was a successful challenge against some voters. That process took the better part of 2 years, but once the court ordered that there would be another election, Premier Parry at the time, he essentially just dissolved Parliament and said, well, look, if I'm going to have an election in a deciding constituency, it's better that we challenge the whole thing and we go off and have them all. And he did that. He called an election. He lost that. And that was how the CCM got into power to start with under Vance Amory. So it could probably take about 2 years. You know, election petitions tend not to be quick in the Caribbean, and I suspect that this is one that will take them a while to see how to work out. As to what will happen, I'm not sure what the court will decide, but ultimately it does seem a bit suspicious. And, you know, the swing was clearly against the CCM in every single constituency but that one. That one was the only one where there was a marginal swing in favor of the CCM. And I do find that seems a bit odd. Bearing in mind also that in Nevis, they have a large overseas vote. They have this itinerant vote, which St. Kitts has as well. And it is widely acknowledged that a number of people who are not resident in Nevis would have voted in the election. That is perfectly legal in the case of Nevis, and that point needs to be made.
The NRP is alleging that discrepancies were recorded in the Nevis 2 seat contested by Premier Mark Brantley and Patricia Bartlett of the NRP, which saw more votes cast than what was registered for at least one particular box. They also allege voter irregularities in the Nevis 1 seat, which was won by CCM's Spencer Brand and was contested by J.D. Keynes of the NRP. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.